those drones over New Jersey? What's behind all of that?
Nothing nefarious, apparently. But they're checking it all out. I think it's just one. There's a lot of drones authorized up there. I think one started and they all got it. Everybody wanted to get in the deal. But we're following it closely. So far, no sense of the danger.
And that was President Biden breaking his silence on the mysterious drones flying over the Northeast. His administration claims that out of the 5,000 plus sightings, fewer than 100 deserve an investigation. 100 is a big number, and that he claims none of them pose a national security or public safety risk. House Foreign Affairs Committee Chairman Michael McCaul, however, said that he believes a major American adversary is actually behind these drones. Watch.
My judgment, based on my experience, is that those that are over our military sites are adversarial and most likely are coming from the People's Republic of China. Communist China is very good at this stuff. And we know they bought land around military bases. This would be very consistent with their policy over the last couple of years.
Meanwhile, a New Jersey mayor is claiming that the drones may be looking for radioactive material after a shipping container of medical equipment used for cancer scans arrived at its destination empty and damaged. Joining me now is Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville, a member of the Senate Armed Services, Agriculture, Veterans Affairs, and Health Committees. Senator, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. I know the House Intelligence Committee received a classified briefings on these drones yesterday. Is the Senate expecting a briefing?
I would hope. We've been asking for one, Maria, but typical Biden administration, no communication, trying to scare the American people to death. It's turned into a fad now. There's a lot of private drones out there, and it starts in New Jersey, and people start seeing it on TV, and let's fly our drone around. There's obviously something to it. Mike McCaul there, is speculating that it could be China. But at the end of the day, President Trump said, listen, we know where they're coming from. We know where they're going. Somebody just needs to tell the American people what's going on. But again, no communication to us or the citizens of this country, and that's wrong.
I mean, how big of a threat is it to have 100 drones that require investigation, which is what Biden just said? Okay, sure, he says, oh, there were 5,000 sightings, but only 100 require investigation. Well, 100 is a big number. You only needed 19, terrorists to take down the Trade Center. I mean, how worried should we be that there are 100 drones that require investigation that we're not doing?
Exactly, and it could be a test for some people, as you said, some terrorists, trying to find out, our defense against anything that's flying around in the sky. Are we going to do anything to it? Are we going to shoot it down? But it's obvious we have no answer, or the Biden administration has no answer. But sooner or later, hopefully before we go home for Christmas, they'll give us some kind of explanation in the Senate. But again, they did something in the House yesterday. It's really not concerning to the point that they didn't come out screaming and yelling that, hey, something's going on here, other than Mike McCaul said it could possibly be China, and it could be. But again, just tell the American people what's going on so we can kind of relax. But we can do our job if they'll communicate.
Well, the U.S. is considering now a ban on a Chinese-made internet router. Manufacturer TP-Link controls 65% of the U.S. market for routers. For homes and small businesses. It also powers internet communications for the Defense Department and other federal agencies. Officials investigating whether the router is linked to Chinese cyber attacks, according to the Wall Street Journal. I mean, why would we be using a Chinese router? In the military, no less. I keep asking the same question about the drones. Why are we buying drones from China? Now, Senator, you're on the Armed Services Committee. You know this. Are we buying drones still from DJI, a Chinese drone maker?
Oh, we're buying drones from China. There's no doubt about that. I talked to a drone maker the other day, and basically I said, why are we buying drones from China? They have better technology, Maria, than what we have that handles a lot of the technology parts, like that works with different type of materials, different type of plastics. They make them cheaper, but they make them better. Our technology is way, way behind, and I guess that's the reason we're buying them from them. But again, that's something else that needs to be discussed with armed services, both the House and the Senate.
But when we started buying drones from DJI, I don't know that there was the kind of urgency that we are watching today about communist China. I mean, there was a period there when the U.S. wanted to bring China into the fold, wanted to see if communist China would get to the middle on things like capitalism. That didn't happen. They went more inward, and they are undermining America at every turn, including having a larger Navy than the U.S. Navy. So we're still continuing to buy drones from our number one adversary?
Well, again, you go back, we spent all of our money on a war for 20 years. We're way behind in space. We're way behind in drones. We're way behind in technology that the Chinese, who hadn't shot a bullet on foreign soil in almost 100 years, they spend all their money on technology. So President Trump is going to get manufacturing back in this country. We've got to get chips back in this country. We've got to do things that are going to help the American people instead of wasting all of our money in foreign wars. At the end of the day, we can't do it all, but we've got to do what's best for our country and protect our country.
Well, hopefully we can do it before we have another attack, and hopefully we can protect ourselves from the undermining underway from communist China. It's just, this is all very disturbing. But I want to move on and get your take on the agenda. Congressional leaders releasing the 1,500 pages plus of the stopgap funding bill ahead of the shutdown deadline this Friday. The bill would extend government funding through mid-March and provide roughly $110 billion in disaster relief and aid for farmers. But some Republicans are slamming the legislation, saying it's not the clean CR that they were anticipating. They're calling out the so-called Christmas tree ornaments throughout this, including duty-free Haitian apparel imports. Wait a minute. Duty-free Haitian apparel imports, lithium-ion battery legislation, moving the jurisdiction of RFK Stadium back to Washington, D.C. Senator, it feels like same old in terms of jamming stuff in a bill and not really thinking at all about wasteful spending.
Merry Christmas, American taxpayer. We're going to buy you a Corvette. Now, you can't pay for it for 100 years, but we're going to buy you a Corvette. It's absolutely ridiculous of what we're doing here. We should get a clean CR. Mike Johnson promised that. The two things that we really need, though, is we need help for American farmer because the farm bill has been kicked down the road for 2 years. Maria, we're going to lose 50,000 farms in the next probably 6 months, 50,000 more, and we lost 150,000 in the last 3 or 4 years. And then, of course, the disaster aid for North Carolina, the Biden administration absolutely has dropped the ball on this. But to go out and building stadiums in D.C., hell, they can't even cut the grass in the medians up here. It's a disaster.
Unbelievable. What are your thoughts about President Trump's nominees? I know, Senator, you met with RFK Jr. yesterday. He's President-elect Trump's choice to lead Health and Human Services. After your meeting, you posted this on X. Our meeting reaffirmed what I already knew. RFK Jr. is the right man to make sure our food is safe, bring transparency to vaccines and health care, and make America healthy again. So you also met with Kash Patel, Pete Hegseth, Linda McMahon, and others. Are you expecting to vote yes to all of President Trump's nominees?
Yes, all the above. RFK, I'd never met him before. You know, he came in, Maria, and the first time I've ever heard anybody talk about a plan. He's got a plan with the Surgeon General, the NIH, the CDC director, Dr. Oz coming in running Medicare, Medicaid. That's exactly what we need. We need somebody that's going to be out there, put a team together that's going to work for the American people. Our healthcare system is going to hell in a handbasket. We have got to do some readjusting in that, or American people are not going to have health care. And then, of course, Kash Patel is perfect. Pete Hegseth, he will get confirmed. We have to have people that's different than what we've done. I tell my colleagues in the Republican side, listen, what we've been doing, it ain't working. And so we need to do something different. And so this is different. President Trump's got the right idea. He understands it. It's going to work. We're going to get them confirmed.
Well, nobody knows how to get the team ready to play and win better than you. Have you spoken with some of your other colleagues, other senators? Are they also going to be voting yes to all of Trump's nominees, or are there some holdouts there?
There's going to be a couple of holdouts, maybe 2 or 3. We got a lot of work maybe to do with some nominees, but at the end of the day, I think that people are going to look at this going, you know, American people gave us Donald Trump again for 4 more years. Give him his team, let him go to work, and get this country back in the right direction.
All right, we need the coach on the team, and we need the coach leading the others. Thank you, Coach. Great to see you this morning.
Thank you.
Senator
Thank you.
Tommy
Merry Christmas.
Tuberville this morning. Thank you, sir.